Okay, so after I lowered my Suburban, I noticed whenever it's loaded or I'm pulling a trailer, it bounces off the stops pretty hard. So I picked up a set of airbags. We're going to put those in today and see if that helps our problem. So I got in a set of AIRLIFT 1000 adjustable air springs. Hopefully those fit the Beltec lowering springs that are in the Suburban. We'll find out here shortly. So unboxing, pretty simple. I got a set of airbags. I have a heat shield in case we end up getting close to the exhaust. Some pucks, of course a sticker. Some hardware and zip ties. Instructions. And of course some airline. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this Suburban jacked up, get some jack stands under it, and pull the rear wheels. Okay, so I've got the Suburban jacked up with my jack stands underneath. I've put the jack underneath the rear diff to help take some weight off of these shocks. I'm going to go ahead and pull the bottom bolt out of the shock so that we can drop the rear axle, and then we should be able to get at these springs to take those out to be able to slide that airbag in. Okay, so I moved the lower shock mount bolt on both sides and then dropped the rear axle with my jack. Just make sure that you clear all of your brake lines. There's some actually up here. You can see them above the diff. These here, they'll pull pretty tight. Just make sure you're not pulling too hard on any of the brake lines. So now, you can see here we have our spring. It's actually pretty loose. So I'm going to go ahead and get that pulled, and then we will put our airbag inside or see if the airbag fits inside these Beltec springs. With a little bit of coaxing, I was able to get this airbag inside this Beltec spring. There's also this puck that rides up on top. And then I pulled out the upper isolator to make sure I'd have clearance to run that hose through. The valve goes up at the top for my application. Now I know this is going to be hard to see, but I did run the hose out the top of the spring mount up top there. You can kind of see it there. Ran over the frame rail here, and then I'll just run it out the back. The other thing here, looking at the airbag in relative location to the exhaust, I'm going to have to run that heat shield just to be on the safe side. So I'm going to go ahead and get that mounted on there, and it's probably going to be really hard to see, but I ended up using both of the heat shields just to kind of play it safe and make sure I'm not going to burn up my airbag. The hose clamps provided are nice, but they're extremely long, so I'm going to have to go ahead and get those trimmed up so they don't rattle around down there. Okay, so I ran the hose above the frame rail on each side, zip tied it up at the end, and then came to a T. And in that T, I ran out the back bumper. I actually had to drill a hole. And then if we go around to the outside, it looks something like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and fill it up and make sure I don't have any leaks anywhere and that everything works as it should. I'm just getting it wrapped up now. I actually lowered the vehicle down, made sure there wasn't any kinks or anything in the bags themselves, and then aired them up to 5 pounds. Seems like it rides up a little bit higher in the back. We're going to go out and give it a test ride, make sure everything's working okay. And of course, make sure to put your decal on that comes with it. That'll add horsepower. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. We'll catch you later.